Hello everyone. Today we will move one step ahead and we will try to see how Black-Scholes model can be used for modeling real life stochastic processes. Okay. So first we are going to study what is known as log normal property. So what is a log normal property? We know that Brownian motion has normal distribution. So using that we are now trying to find distribution of some function of Brownian motion. So let ST be a stock price process. So ST be a stock price process. Stock price process means ST denotes price of a stock at time t. Okay. So we will assume that it follows Black-Scholes model. So we assume that it follows the Black-Scholes model. What it means is it follows the stochastic differential equation ds equal to mu s dt plus sigma s dz, where mu is the expectation and sigma is the volatility. Okay. Now using this we are going to find distribution of LNS. Okay. Why? Because many a times when we want to compute returns are actually studied in terms of log returns. Okay. So we are going to find distribution of LNS. So let gxt be a function defined as ln of x, because that would help us. So our aim is to find distribution of LNS, right? Of course, what we are going to use, we did study a lemma which gave us a way to find stochastic differential equation followed by functions of the Ito processes. So we will use that. So if I want to use that, I need derivative of g with respect to x as well as t. So daba g by daba x, so I am using Ito's lemma, is 1 by x, right? Derivative of log x. Daba 2g by daba x square would become minus 1 by x square, and daba g by daba t would be 0, because this is not directly a function of t. Of course through x it is function of t, but we are looking at partial derivative, so it's not a direct function of t, hence the partial derivative is 0. Okay. Now that we have these three quantities, we will use Ito's lemma and we get the stochastic differential equation followed by LNS. I am just substituting in the lemma. You have the lemma with you from earlier lecture. So d LNS would be 1 by s, because I want to substitute daba g by daba x, into mu s plus 0 coming from daba g by daba t. This mu s is coming from this part, okay, a, then plus half into, now I want to substitute daba 2g by daba x square, so minus 1 by x square, and then the variance part, so sigma square s square, because you have sigma s here. Okay. This into dt plus sigma s by s dz. Okay, I am just using Ito's lemma, nothing else. Okay, no complicated calculations. So if I cancel out a few things and take things common, what I get is mu minus sigma square by 2 dt plus sigma dz. Okay. So what it means? It means that the differential equation followed by LNS is this. dLNS is mu minus sigma square by 2 times dt plus sigma dz. Okay. So this is the differential form. We did mention integral form also in the earlier lecture. So here if I try to find the integral form, I need to integrate on both the sides between say 0 to t. So what I'll get is ln of st minus ln of s naught. Ideally I should put in bracket because I am talking in continuous time. So this would be mu minus sigma square by 2 is anyway constant. Integral of dt over time 0 to t would be simply t. Sigma is constant, and integral of z dz would be zt minus z naught, but then z naught is 0, so I just get zt. Okay, and so this is the integral form of the same equation, correct? This is integral form of the same equation. So using this I can now slightly rearrange this part. So I'll have ln of st upon s naught is mu minus sigma square by 2 times t plus sigma z t. Okay, so if I consider st by s naught as a return, I do have some equation for it, or I can rearrange in other way. I can write ln of st as ln of s naught plus mu minus sigma square by 2 times t plus sigma zt. Okay, why am I shifting s naught to right hand side? Because see, s naught is known. S naught is share price at time 0, so s naught is known. Okay, so generally we try to find distribution of st given s naught, the conditional distribution. Okay, so given s naught means if we assume that s naught is known, then ln st will have normal distribution because this part is anyway constant, sigma is constant, and z has normal distribution. So ln st will have normal distribution. What would be mean? Z has mean 0, so mean contribution would be only from these two terms. So with mean ln of s naught plus mu minus sigma square by 2 times t, and variance contribution would come only from the last term because there is no randomness in the first two terms. So variance sigma square t. Why t? Because we know variance of zt is t. Okay, so sigma square t. Is it clear to everyone from where did I get this mean and variance and the normal distribution? Okay, so I know something about ln st. So I know that ln st is normal, so of course that would mean st is now log normal. Okay, so share price process, when we say it follows Black-Scholes model, it actually comes from a log normal distribution. And what would be the parameters if we use the log normal theory? Expectation of st would be s naught e raised to mu t. I am just using log normal distribution theory, nothing else. Variance of st would be s naught square e raised to 2 mu t into bracket e raised to sigma square t minus 1. Okay, homework is check with if whatever I have written is correct. Okay, so basically homework is to prove this. Okay, just log normal distribution you have to use, nothing else. Okay, so now this leads us to define what is known as geometric or exponential Brownian motion. Okay, so geometric, both are names of the same phenomenon, or exponential Brownian motion. Let me state the definition. So geometric Brownian motion is a stochastic process. This is a stochastic process in which log of a certain quantity follows Brownian motion with a drift. Follows Brownian motion with a drift. Very straightforward definition. Okay. So here also we know that ln of S naught is basically a Brownian motion with a drift. Hence we say that S follows geometric Brownian motion. Okay. So if you want to write in terms of differential equation, we have another formal way of defining it. So let me write down that a stochastic process xt is said to follow geometric Brownian motion if it satisfies the following stochastic differential equation. If it satisfies the following stochastic differential equation. What is the equation? dxt is equal to mu xt dt plus sigma xt dzt. Okay. If you remember, this is nothing but your Black-Scholes-Merton model for share price process. ds equal to mu s dt plus sigma s dz. Okay, this is exactly that. Let us try to use this now to see if future prices follow geometric Brownian motion. Okay. So we will try to see if future prices follow geometric Brownian motion. So that would be an application of whatever we have learned so far. Okay. So as an application, we will consider futures price. Do you remember we had derived optimal futures price? Okay. So what is the equation? We know F naught means at time 0 the optimal futures price is S naught e raised to R capital T. So at this is say 0, this is the expiry time capital T. So we know this is optimal price. What would be somewhere here? Now if I want to decide future price at this time point, I know now in share prices up to this time point, so I can use that knowledge. So share price at this point is suppose st if this is small t, and now the remaining time is only t minus t, right? So my updated futures price would be st e raised to r t minus t, correct? Everyone getting this? Okay, so now this is my equation. So ft is st e raised to r t minus t. So f is some function of stock price process, of course, and we know that stock price process follows geometric Brownian motion. So we are going to try and see what happens to futures price process. So again we are going to use Ito's lemma, nothing else. So if I compute dabba f by dabba s, I will get e raised to r t minus t. Then dabba 2f by dabba s square is 0, and dabba f by dabba t is now no longer 0 because you know you have small t coming in picture. So it would be minus r coming from this exponent. So minus r and then s e raised to r t minus t. S is anyway constant, it stays as it is. Okay, and e raised to r t minus t. So if we substitute this in Ito's lemma, we will get the equation for futures price df as dabba f by dabba s. I have to substitute. So dabba f by dabba f s is e raised to r t minus t into a. So a part comes from differential equation for s, and we know ds is equal to mu s dt plus sigma s dz. So a is mu s. So mu s then minus, I get del by f by del by t part, so rs e raised to r t minus t, this whole thing into dt, plus, now I have to worry about the kind of b part over here, so e raised to r t minus t sigma s dz. Okay, so if I take e raised to r t minus t common and s also common, I get mu minus r s e raised to r t minus t here plus sigma s e raised to r t minus t dz. Of course, sorry, I forgot dt. Okay, is it okay? Just arithmetic manipulation, nothing else. And now we know that s e raised to r t minus t is your f, so this becomes mu minus r f dt plus sigma f dz. So df has this equation, and this is exactly again the Black-Scholes-Merton form. The only change is mu has been replaced by mu minus r. Okay, therefore optimal futures price also shows or exhibits a geometric Brownian motion. Okay, just like the underlying share price process. The only thing is parameters have changed. So with mean parameter as mu minus r, okay, and variance parameter still as sigma. Okay, expected return on futures depends on the risk-free rate of interest also, so that mu minus r comes into picture. Is it okay? Now let us take one example. So how this geometric Brownian motion thing can be used for getting, say, confidence intervals for future returns, etc. Okay, so this is a numerical example. I will do the calculations here, but it's your responsibility to check whether those calculations are correct. Okay, so suppose we have some stock with initial price 40. Initial price 40 means S naught is equal to 40, and expected rate of return is 16% per annum. Expected rate of return is 16% per annum. 16% per annum is a, we may need to convert it into monthly or quarterly basis, and volatility is 20% per annum. Okay, and our aim is to get 95% confidence interval for share prices where T is 6 months. So we are going to find confidence interval for a future share price. Generally, it is not recommended to go so ahead because the market keeps on changing almost continuously, but for the sake of illustration, we are taking 6 months. Normally, people will try to predict for 2 or 3 months at most. Okay. Okay, so how do we get that? Now that we know something about distribution of ln of st, that is going to be of use to us. So mu is equal to 0.16 per annum, which is same as okay, let it be per annum. We will substitute t is equal to half year. Okay, and sigma is 0.2. 20% means 0.2. Okay, now we know ln st follows normal distribution with mean ln s naught plus mu minus sigma square by 2 times t and variance sigma square t. Correct? So ln st follows normal with, let us substitute, ln of 40 plus mu is 0.16 minus 0.2 square by 4, sorry, 2 into t, and then 0.2 square t. Okay, this is the distribution of log of st. Of course, we can now compute everything required over here. So it t, we know t is half. So if we substitute t equal to half, we get this total mean, let me call it m1, and variance, let me call it s1. So total mean turns out to be 3.8388. So what we did, just substitute t equal to half and everything else is already known. Okay, why half? Because we are talking of 6 months, whereas the expectation and volatility of the process is measured in terms of yearly units. Okay, so m1 is this, and the variance part s1 would be 0.02. Okay, so the confidence interval for ln st would be m1 minus 1.96 times square root of s1. Okay, this is between ln st and m1 plus 1.96 square root of s1. Okay, our usual normal confidence interval. And once you know confidence interval for ln st, how do you get confidence interval for st? You know invariance of MLE, etc. So basically you just take exponential. So e raised to m1 minus 1.96 root s is less than or equal to st is less than or equal to e raised to m1 plus 1.96 times root s. Okay, is it okay so far? So today we will stop here. In the next lecture we will talk about distribution of rate of return. Okay, thank you.